Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we're going to be making a guide for the Crawling Valley battle drills, all of the different towers, which teams are the most effective, and then also some boss teams for you to run. This infographic is put together by Oipik and it was shared in Yapala Discord. I'll leave a link to the Discord for Yapala in the description of this video. So here we have the map for Crawling Valley. As you can tell, all 15 different towers, including the two mini bosses 14 and 15, are going to be labeled. And for the different towers, there are different colors assigned to them because certain teams are going to be slightly more effective in those various different towers. So if we look at the map, towers 4, 5, 11, and 8, these are going to be the red towers, and the best teams to be running into here are going to be either a Mauler version, as you see here with Mikola, Zandrok, Nazrik, and Baelran, or a Celestial Hypogean version with Saida, Kulu, and then also the twins. So these are the two top performing teams for the red AoE towers. As you can see here, there is going to be a replacement of Baelran for Sonya and also Nazrik for Odie if needed. And then this team can be pretty budget friendly. Aerostorm can be replaced by Starblast artifact. That is going to be the next best option if you do not have the Aerostorm artifact. Okay, and the red tower should be focused by players who have Saida and Baelran because those teams are the most effective. Now for the other towers, we have the green towers and the blue towers, and they're kind of similar. And actually the top team for both of them, the green and blue towers, is going to be this Wilder team with Mihira, and even one copy of Mihira will be working here. So as you see here, Iron, Ravion, Brian, Faramore, and then also Mihira. Mihira just groups up enemies effectively, and then Faramore and Brian deal massive damage, and Ravion is just there to be buffing them. Aerostorm spell, of course, is going to be the best, but if you don't have Aerostorm, you can replace it for Starblast. That is going to be the second best option, and this is going to be the best team for the green towers and also the blue towers. If you look at the blue teams, you're going to have the same exact team, as you see here. With one copy of Mihira. Now, if you do not have one copy of Mihira, you can replace her for Parissa. However, one copy of Mihira is going to be better than Parissa, just to group up the enemy team. But Parissa is going to be the next best option if you don't have any Mihira at all. And you just replace Mihira for Parissa in that same exact positioning. Yeah. Now, for the other team that can be run in the green AoE towers, it is going to be a Celestial Hypogean team. However, this is going to kind of overlap with the team for the red towers as well. And also it will need Saida, which will need to be plus 15 exclusive equipment, and then Kulu, one copy is fine. Kulu just is there for the one copy. But basically, this is another team that can be run for the green towers. But personally, what I did is I ran this Iron Brian team, and I one-shot both the blue tower and the green tower. I one-shot 10 and 9 both for my guild, just with this team. And my Brian's only like plus 10 exclusive equipment Paragon 1. Brian isn't even... My Faramore is like fully maxed, but the Brian is not. And so it's just a very, very strong team. But I was, of course, using the pay-to-win Aerostorm artifact. So those are the different tower teams that you can run. Now, there's just one final thing to mention. The biggest impact is going to be Snow Stomper level 90. This is very high impact, and it will improve the effectiveness of all of these Wilder teams by a lot. And also for AFK stages, level 90 Snow Stomper really is a priority. So this is something that you should be prioritizing. The Lone Gaze, now I have not upgraded my Lone Gaze to level 90. It is high impact. However, Lone Gaze is also good even at level 60. I have my Lone Gaze at 60 just to help me out in the towers as well. As you see here, if he is at level 90, then he will be buffing up Nazrik, and that is going to power up this team further. But basically, you can run him at level 60 as well. And then there are some cleanup teams. So for example, if you do an attack and you find one of these towers and there are only 2 or 3 enemies left, they're all low health, then you don't want to waste a whole 5-man team on that tower. Instead, it's better to just do a 3-man team, and they're 2 strong combos. One is going to be Nazrik, Mikola, Set, and of course Nazrik could be replaced for Odie. And then the other team is going to be Citrana, Shakir, and Zandrok, and they're just here to power up the Lone Gaze, and Lone Gaze will be cleaning up the enemy team with the Starblast spell. Yeah, you can use other Mauler heroes if needed. So basically, there we have it for the different towers. Now we have mini bosses and bosses. So as of right now, an updated infographic has not been made. Okay guys, I'm just going to reply back from Oipik that there still is no infographic for the top performing mini boss and then also actual final boss teams. However, from the testing so far, far, there are a set of 3 teams which are all doing very well and probably are going to be the best boss team options for you. And in Shadow Brutus, they've hit even up to 70 billion damage with a level 90 Phantomal. So let's go ahead and break these teams down. So the first team is going to be a Zandrock, Smokey, Shakir team, but it will be using also Shemira as a damage dealer and having the Lone Gaze buff up the Shemira even further with that level 90 effect of his Phantomal upgrade. Rainier is also going to increase the damage that the boss is going to be taking, and so overall this is one of the really top performing teams with the Aerostorm artifact. But if you don't have Aerostorm, always you'll replace it for Starblast. Starblast is the second best option for basically the boss teams. Apart from this, there's another team with Nazrik. However, with the Nazrik teams, you can also try replacing them for Odie. Odie will be a great replacement for Nazrik as well, if you don't have Nazrik belt, right? But if you have Nazrik, then this one should be the top performing team combo. You have the twins buffing up Nazrik and Lone Gaze. You have Hugin further buffing up the Nazrik at the beginning with the charm quality bonus. And you have Kruger and Mikola. Aerostorm artifact will be the best, but again, it could be replaced for Starblast if you do not have the Aerostorm artifact. And then finally, we have a Wilder team with Zanie with the Aerostorm spell. This team is going to be Snow Stomper buffing up Zanie. You also have Theodore giving energy to Zanie. Zanie's true turret up in the front, and then Faramore also buffing up Zanie, and then finally Ravion buffing up Zanie and Sinbad. So there's a lot of damage potential from this team. Aerostorm artifact will be the best. However, Starblast could be a second best option if you don't have the Aerostorm. So these are probably the top 3 new teams. However, I'm going to share the boss teams and mini boss teams from the previous set when we had Crawling Valley the previous time around, because these teams are still working well. And I've attacked the mini boss Shadow Brutus with these teams, and I've hit like around 20 billion damage with both of them. But the Zanie team and the Zandrock team, and they're still solid. These teams are still very good, but there probably are going to be some adjustments. Like, I mean, Nazrik is probably going to replace Odie and things like that. And then also, if you have a level 90 Lone Gaze, then of course you would want to change around the positioning. But because I only have level 60 Lone Gaze, it doesn't matter. Like, the positioning is still optimal by running these, and I think a lot of people out there are probably just going to have level 60 Lone Gaze. Most people do not have level 90 Lone Gaze right now because, like, there are other priorities, like Wilder more importantly. But basically, here we have it for level 60 Lone Gaze or even level 70 Lone Gaze. These are going to be the top teams still, and you're going to have, so Smokey, Zandrock, Rainier in front of the Lone Gaze, Odie also on the Stellar Bond, and then Twins buffing them. And now you will want to replace Blood Moon for Aerostorm. Aerostorm is still the best artifact in all of these teams, because Aerostorm, you just need some form of range damage to trigger the effect, and like Odie would cover that, Nazrik would cover it, Zanie would cover it, and so you do not need, Aerostorm is the best, but Starblast would be the second best, basically. So Blood Moon you should not be using, probably, is basically going to be Starblast or Aerostorm. Those are going to be the best 2 artifacts, so that is also the change. And Zandrock, even at 1 copy, is going to be better than these other heroes here. But if you don't have any Zandrock, you can replace them for Satron or Reese. And then we look down here, we have some, like, the second set of teams, so Zanie. And in fact, Zanie actually did slightly better for me compared to this Odie version. I didn't try Nazrik, I was trying the Odie, just this OG version. And this Zanie team with the Aerostorm artifact actually did a bit better for me compared to this one. But they both were neck and neck, around 20 billion damage for both of them on the Shadow Brutus boss, mini boss that I was attacking, and so those are really solid scores. But if you don't have Zanie, there is a Shemira replacement here. As you see, the Maulers with Shemira rather than Maulers with Zanie. So if you don't have Zanie, that's totally fine. But if you have Zanie, even at Mythic level, she's actually going to be better than Shemira. So Zanie's working even at Mythic in this team. But if it's higher, then it will be better. And then we have the third set of teams, which is also going to be a Mauler squad, but with Sinbad and Ravion to be buffing up the damage dealers. And again, for this team though, however, I mean, Aerostorm probably can still work, because you have the Ravion, who's a ranged damage dealer. He's going to trigger that Aerostorm effect, and then it's still probably going to be the best, but Starblast would be the second best, usually. And then if you don't have Ravion, well, Ravion even at Legendary is better here, but if you don't have Ravion at all, then you can run Sonya, as you see in this sort of positioning. And then we have it, basically, those are still going to be good mini boss and boss teams. As the new optimal teams come out, and like level 90 Lone Gaze optimal boss teams come out, I will make an an updated video just with the optimal boss teams, but this is basically a recap and teams you can definitely be running on these early days, and you're gonna be able to clear the shadow mini bosses and the boss no problem with these teams. These teams are still very effective. So anyway, guys, hopefully this is helpful. If you have any other tips for the battle drills, feel free to share that in the comment section down below. And like I mentioned, I will be making an updated video when we do have the updated set of top performing boss teams. But for right now, these teams are all really solid, and I wanted to share it. So hopefully this is helpful. Good luck with that. And if you're not already a member of my AFK Journey Discord server, please join that. There's a link to that in the description of this video. Also, if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Firelight store. There is a link to that in the description of this video and a pinned comment. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.